Have you ever wondered why China, a global superpower, has decided to fund a controversial crude oil pipeline in Uganda? This question has been on the minds of many in recent times. The Ugandan oil pipeline has been a hot topic, stirring up debate and controversy across the globe. It's not just about oil, but also the political, economic, and environmental implications of such a massive project. To understand this, we need to take a step back and look at the sequence of events leading up to China's involvement. In 2006, Uganda discovered significant oil reserves around Lake Albert. This discovery was a game-changer for the East African nation, bringing a wave of optimism and hope for a brighter economic future. The country's reserves were estimated to be the largest on the continent, promising a potential wealth that could lift millions out of poverty. However, the euphoria was soon tempered by reality. Uganda had neither the infrastructure nor the technology to exploit these reserves. The country lacked pipelines, refineries, and the skilled workforce needed to transform crude oil into a marketable commodity. Furthermore, the environmental challenges posed by oil extraction in a region rich in biodiversity added another layer of complexity to the equation. This left Uganda in a difficult position. They had a treasure trove of oil, but lacked the means to unlock its potential. This predicament prompted the Ugandan government to look beyond its borders for help. And as Uganda sought international partners to help develop its oil industry, China saw an opportunity. China's involvement in Uganda is part of a broader strategy of global expansion. This isn't just about Uganda, it's about the bigger picture. As the world's second-largest economy, China has been making strategic moves to secure its place as a global superpower. And what's this grand strategy? Well, it's known as the Belt and Road Initiative. The Belt and Road Initiative is a massive undertaking, with projects spanning across 60 countries and regions. It's a network of trade routes, infrastructure projects, and financial investments that spread from East Asia to Europe and beyond. The goal? To create a global community with China at its heart. But let's zoom in a bit. Africa, in particular, has been a key focus area for China. With its rich natural resources and burgeoning markets, Africa holds enormous potential for growth. Investing in Africa allows China to secure access to these resources and to tap into new markets. Now, where does Uganda fit into this? Uganda is a part of this grand vision. The recent discovery of oil in Uganda presents a golden opportunity for China. By investing in Uganda's oil industry, China is able to further its strategic interests. It's not just about the oil. It's about cementing a strong strategic relationship with Uganda and, by extension, Africa. This strategic approach isn't without controversy, however. Many critics argue that China's investments come with strings attached and may leave countries like Uganda in a cycle of debt. But for China, this is a calculated risk. It's a part of their global chess game. This strategic approach led China to fund Uganda's controversial oil pipeline. The pipeline may be contentious, but for China, it's just another move in their grand game of global expansion. So, what's so controversial about this pipeline, and why should we care? At face value, the pipeline project might seem like a simple trade agreement between Uganda and China. But dig a little deeper, and you'll find a series of controversies that are causing quite a stir. Firstly, let's talk about the environment. The pipeline is set to cut through some of the most biodiverse regions in Africa. Environmentalists are sounding the alarm over potential oil spills, which could wreak havoc on the local ecosystem. Furthermore, the burning of this crude oil will contribute to greenhouse gas emissions, driving us further away from global climate goals. Next, we have the issue of displacement. Thousands of local populations are being uprooted to make way for this pipeline. This is not just about losing homes, it's about losing livelihoods, cultures, and communities. Let's not forget allegations of corruption that are swirling around this deal. Questions are being raised about the transparency of the agreement and whether it truly serves the interests of the Ugandan people. Now, let's pivot to the implications of China's involvement. China's financial backing of this project is viewed as part of its broader strategy to extend its influence globally. Through projects like this, China is gaining a foothold in Africa. positioning itself as a key player in the continent's development. This not only boosts China's geopolitical standing but also gives it access to crucial resources. However, this move could potentially disrupt the global economy. Other nations may feel compelled to compete with China's aggressive expansion, leading to a scramble for Africa's resources. This could create economic instability and heighten geopolitical tensions. Moreover, China's involvement sets a precedent for how international business is conducted, potentially sidelining human rights and environmental concerns in favor of economic gain. China's involvement in Uganda's oil industry is not just about oil. It's about power, influence, and the future of global politics. The implications of this move reach far beyond the borders of Uganda, shaping the trajectory of international relations, economic power dynamics, and environmental stewardship in the years to come. So, we've traveled from Uganda's oil discovery to China's global expansion strategy, and finally, to the controversy surrounding the pipeline. Let's take a moment to reflect on this journey. We began in Uganda, a nation with newfound oil reserves, eager to tap into this black gold. The question was, who would help them? Enter China, a global powerhouse with a voracious appetite for resources and a knack for infrastructure development. Their involvement was not a matter of if, but when. China's global expansion strategy is clear. By investing in countries like Uganda, they gain access to much-needed resources and also extend their sphere of influence. It's a win-win for China. But what about Uganda? That brings us to the controversy. The pipeline has faced significant backlash from environmentalists and human rights activists alike. The potential for environmental damage is substantial, not to mention the risk of displacement for local communities. And yet, the pipeline promises economic growth and development, a tempting prospect for a country like Uganda. This is the crux of the matter, the balance between economic growth and social environmental responsibility. As the world watches, the events unfolding in Uganda serve as a microcosm of the larger global power dynamics at play. As we watch the events unfold in Uganda, we are witnessing not just the development of an oil industry, but the shifting dynamics of global power.